the spotlight tonight is David Wilson from Cardigan, an artist and translator. His specialist subject is the life and works of Kandinsky. Anna Statham from London, a retired secretary. Hers is Anthony Pole's A Dance to the Music of Time. Peter Edis from East Sussex, a pensions administrator, and his subject is the World Outdoor Athletic Championships. And Francis McFall from Dumfries, a social worker whose subject is King David. Hello, I'm John Humphreys and welcome to Mastermind. You'll all know the rules. Each contender takes the chair twice and has 2 minutes each time. First on the specialist subject and then on general knowledge. Whoever wins tonight will move to our next round and the chance of going into the finals to become Mastermind champion. They don't win £1 million on this programme, but they do get a rather nice glass bowl and, of course, the honour of the title, Mastermind. So, let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
David Wilson.
Your occupation?
Artist and translator.
And your chosen subject?
The life and works of Wassily Kandinsky.
Kandinsky, in 2 minutes, starting now. What was the name of the group of expressionist artists based in Munich and founded by Kandinsky with Franz Marc in 1911?
The New Artists Association.
No, the Blue Rider, Der Blaue Reiter. In 1896, Kandinsky was offered a lectureship in jurisprudence, which he turned down, at which university in Estonia?
Dorpat.
Correct. Which event in Berlin in July 1933 is believed to have inspired Kandinsky to paint gloomy situation?
The burning of the Reichstag.
No, the closure of the Bauhaus by the Nazis. What title did Kandinsky give to his portfolio of woodcuts published in Moscow in 1904?
Poems Without Words.
Correct. Which German artist became Kandinsky's mistress in 1902, moving into a house with him in Murnau, Bavaria in 1909?
Gabriele Münter.
Correct. Which German émigré presented a one-man show of Kandinsky's works at his gallery in New York in 1937?
Garkeshire.
Karl Nierendorf. Completed in 1939, what was the title of Kandinsky's last work in the composition series?
Composition 10.
Correct. In 1928, Kandinsky devised a stage performance of which work by Mussorgsky at the Friedrich Theatre in Dessau?
Pictures at an exhibition.
Correct. Which saint, painted frequently by Kandinsky, was shown on the cover of the almanac Der Blaue Reiter?
St. George.
Correct. What is the title of the last completed painting by Kandinsky, finished in March 1944?
Inspirations.
Élan ton père. Which work for the stage was Kandinsky working on at Lake Constance immediately after the outbreak of war in 1914?
Violet.
No, Violet Curtain. What was the title of Kandinsky's Bauhaus pamphlet setting out his theories of abstract pictorial composition, which was published in 1926?
Point and line to plane.
Correct. In 1889, the Society for Natural Science, Ethnography and Anthropology sent Kandinsky on a research trip to which northern province of Russia?
Vologda.
Correct. What name was given... I've started, so I shall finish. What name was given to the avant-garde society which Kandinsky helped found in 1901 and for which he organised a number of exhibitions up to 1904?
Phalanx.
Phalanx is correct. David Wilson, you had no passes. You have scored 9 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Anna Statham.
Your occupation?
I'm a retired secretary.
And your chosen subject?
A Dance to the Music of Time by Anthony Pole.
2 minutes on that, starting now. In A Question of Upbringing, Widmerpool, as a new boy, had first made an impression by wearing the wrong sort of which garment?
Overcoat.
Correct. What was the title of X. Trapnell's first novel, which Bagshaw described as the best first novel since before the war?
Camel Ride to the Tomb.
It was. Which artist fell down the stairs at the Bronze Monkey Club, dying of internal injuries on the day of Stringham's wedding?
Mr. Deacon.
Correct. In Books Do Furnish a Room, Nicholas Jenkins returns to university at the age of 40 to research a book on which writer?
Robert Burton.
Correct. In A Buyer's Market, with what did Barbara Goring drench Widmerpool at the Hundercombes ball?
Sugar.
Correct. What was the name of the Sleafords' country mansion, the home of Lady Molly Jeavons?
Dogdean.
It was. Who incarcerated Stringham in her flat in an attempt to cure him of his alcoholism?
Tuffy Weedon.
It was in Hearing Secret Harmonies which cult leader apparently drove Widmerpool to his death by taking him on a naked run in the early hours of the morning.
Scorpio Murtlock.
Correct. Which novelist's 10-year-long attempt to rehabilitate the forgotten Edwardian author St. John Clarke culminated in a television documentary in 1968?
Lindsay Bagshaw.
No, Ada Quiggin. With what did Lewis Glover hit Widmerpool on the chin while attempting a cricket shot at Jackie Bragadin's house party in Venice?
Pass.
What was the name of Jenkins' company commander in the Welsh battalion posted to Northern Ireland in 1940?
General Liddermont.
No, Gwatkin. How did the 7-year-old lady Priscilla Tolland first realise that her eldest brother Erridge was mad?
It was something about the way he was eating.
It was his pudding. In fact, what was the name of the Soho pub where Jenkins first met Morland in the 20s, the bombed-out ruins of which evoke memories at the start of Casanova's Chinese restaurant?
The Hayloft.
Mortimer. What name did Herbert Stevens take for himself from a hieroglyphic on an envelope sent to him when he was abroad?
Odo.
Yes, in the Soldier's Art, where was Captain Biggs, the sports officer, found hanging?
In the Cricket Pavilion.
In the Cricket Pavilion, it was indeed. You passed on only one of those questions. Widmerpool was hit on the chin by a peach. You have, however, a total, Anna Statham, of 11 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Peter Edis.
Your occupation?
Pensions Administrator.
And your chosen subject?
Is the IAAF World Outdoor Championships.
Athletics in 2 minutes, starting now. When he won in Helsinki, who became the first athlete to be an Olympic, European, Commonwealth and world champion?
Pass.
When Hestia Clutre retained her high jump title in Paris, who made it a South African double by winning the men's title?
Jacques Freitag.
It was. In Stuttgart, two Britons won their second silver medal of the championships as part of the 4x100 metres relay team. John Regis was one. Who was the other?
Colin Jackson.
Tony Jarrett. Which country won triple gold in the men's championships by taking the long jump, high jump and triple jump titles in Athens?
Cuba.
It was. Who in Tokyo brought Carl Lewis's run of 65 successive victories in the long jump to an end, setting a new world record in the process?
Mike Powell.
Correct. In the men's 1500 metres finals in Seville and Edmonton, who led for 800 metres, acting as a pacemaker for his fellow Moroccan Hicham El Garouj?
El Azeri.
No, Couch. By finishing third in the 200 metres in Helsinki, who is still the only British woman to have won an individual sprint medal at the championships?
Kathy Cook.
Kathy Smallwood-Cook, yes. Which 17-year-old set a world junior record for the women's 800 metres when she finished fourth in the final in Tokyo?
Maria Matola.
Yes, it was. Bob Weir finished ninth in the discus final in Gothenburg, but in which event did he represent Great Britain in Helsinki?
The Hammer.
Yes, in Seville, who became the first athlete from North Korea to win a gold medal at a world championship?
Kai.
No, Song-ok Jong. Eunice Barber won gold in the long jump and silver in the heptathlon in Paris, but who had already gone one better in Rome by winning both events?
Jackie Joyner-Kersee.
Correct. What nationality by birth is the athlete who won the men's 800 metres for Denmark in Gothenburg, Athens and Seville?
Kenya.
Correct. Had he won the discus in Paris, who would have emulated Sergei Bubka and won 6 gold medals at 6 different championships?
Lars Riedel.
Yes. Which Australian athlete successfully defended her 800 metres wheelchair title in Paris?
Pass.
Amid controversy over suspected drug use, in which women's track event did Chinese athletes make a clean sweep of the medals in Stuttgart?
The 3000.
The 3,000 metres it was indeed. And that's your 2 minutes up. You passed on. The Australian athlete who defended her 800 metres wheelchair title in Paris was Louise Sauvage. And you'll kick yourself for this one. He won in Helsinki. He became the first athlete to be Olympic, European, Commonwealth and world champion. Daley Thompson.
Yep.
Indeed. 2 passes.
Okay.
You scored, though, 10 points.
Thank you.
And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Francis McFall,
Occupation?
social worker.
And your chosen subject?
David, second king of Israel.
King David in 2 minutes starting now. Of which king of Gath was David so afraid that he feigned insanity by scrawling on the city gates and dribbling down his beard?
Achish.
Correct. With which town across the Jordan was Ishbosheth, son of Saul, associated during his period of rivalry with David?
Gibeon.
Mahanaim. Which of David's overseers, according to the list in 1 Chronicles, was put in charge of his camels?
Jehiel.
Obil the Ishmaelite. When David went to war with Hadadezer of Zobah, which river were they trying to control?
The Euphrates.
It was. Against which people, a traditional enemy of the southern tribes, did David make war after they raided and burned Ziklag?
The Amalekites.
Correct. Sheba, a Benjamite, raised a revolt against David with the cry, "Every man to his tent, O Israel." What was his father's name?
Bichri.
It was. According to the list of officers in 2 Samuel 20, which official who later served Solomon and was stoned by the opponents of Rehoboam did David put in charge of forced labour?
Adoniram.
Yes. Which ruler of the Neo-Hittite kingdom of Hamath sent his son Joram with gifts to David on news of his victory over Hadadezer?
Tau.
Correct. Whose treacherous advice to Absalom prevailed over that of Ahithophel, even though he was known to be a friend of David?
Hushi.
Yes. Which priest allied with Joab to support Adonijah is in his plans to succeed?
Zadok.
It was Abiathar. How many years and months of David's reign were spent in Hebron before his move to Jerusalem?
7 years, 6 months.
Correct. What was the name of Saul's concubine who guarded the remains of his descendants who, with David's permission, had been killed by the Gibeonites?
Rizpah.
It was. At which high place did David leave Zadok and his priests to present regular burnt offerings?
Mount Moriah.
Gibeon. Which city was Joab besieging when he received David's order to put Uriah the Hittite in the front line?
Rabbah.
It was. Which of David's several wives was the mother of his first son, Amnon?
Ahinoam.
That is correct. You had no passes there, Francis McFall. You have scored a total also of 11 points. And that brings us to the end of our first round, the specialist subject. So let's look at the scores. In 4th place with 9, David Wilson. 3rd place with 10, Peter Edis. 2nd place with 11 points and 1 pass, Anna Statham. In the lead, just with 11 points, no passes, Francis McFall. So on to round 2 now, the general knowledge round, and if there is a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes will be taken into consideration, and the contender with the fewest passes will be declared the winner. And it's very close at the moment. So let's get on with the general knowledge round, and let me first ask David Wilson to join us again, if he would, please. And you got 9 points with your knowledge of Kandinsky. I think it's fair to say, isn't it, that he's not the best-known artist of the last 100 years or so?
I would think that's probably right, yes.
So what is it that makes him great in your view?
Well, I think he was... he did some very interesting paintings. His ideas were weird, but he did some very interesting paintings.
Yeah, weird in what way? What made him weird?
Well, he had this theory about certain shapes being associated with certain colours. And in fact, he did a questionnaire among his students to demonstrate this, and it's more or less supported his views, you know, triangles yellow and squares red and circles blue. Yes, he did have some strange ideas, but he persisted.
Well, you scored 9 points with your knowledge of Kandinsky. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes starting now. The Giant's Causeway lies on the coast of which county in Northern Ireland?
Antrim.
Correct. Who was the peddler, the self-styled snapper-up of unconsidered trifles in Shakespeare's The Winter's Tale?
Polestar?
Autolycus. Which spoof documentary unexpectedly won the Golden Globe for Best Television Comedy and Best Television Comedy Actor for its star in the 2004 ceremony?
The Office?
Yes. Tottenham striker Freddie Canute was selected for which country's national squad in the 2004 African Nations Cup?
Cameroon?
Mali. Which month of the year is named after the two-headed Roman god of doorways and beginnings who could see into the past and the future?
January.
Yes. The ancient name of which river in Asia Minor gives its name to an extreme U-bend in a stream, usually occurring in a series?
Meander?
Yes. Perlis is the northernmost state of which Asian country?
Malaysia?
Yes. Whose ragtime tunes were adapted by Marvin Hamlish for the film The Sting?
Alexander?
Scott Jopling. In which Central American country is the unit of currency named after a local bird, the quetzal, which also features on its flag?
Guatemala.
Yes. Which word has been used to describe plants, especially roses, which flower profusely in clusters?
Floribunda.
Yes. What name is given to chemical compounds that have the same molecular formula but have different properties due to differing arrangements of atoms in their molecule?
Isotopes.
No, isomers. Which Jewish feast commemorates the sparing of the firstborn of the Israelites on the eve of the Exodus from captivity in Egypt?
Passover.
Yes. Who directed the Henry Wood Promenade concerts from 1948, later becoming chief conductor until his death in 1967?
Malcolm Sargent.
Yes. Which late 17th century playwright and poet laureate wrote the words of "While shepherds watch their flocks by night"?
Done.
Tate. The Treaty of Waitangi of 1840 established British colonial rule over which country?
New Zealand.
Yes. What sort of business did Scots-born Alan Pinkerton, I've started so I shall finish, the Scots-born Alan Pinkerton found in 1850 in Chicago?
Detective agency.
It was indeed. Again, no passes, David Wilson. You now have, with your earlier 9 points, you have 20 points. And now, Peter Edis, if you join us again, please. And you had 10 points with your knowledge of international athletics, a great knowledge. Does it worry you that there are well, we believe there are so many drugs on the international scene now?
It's a shame, because it became a very big issue with the Ben Johnson scandal in the late 80s, and I thought that would really make people see that you just can't get away with something like that. He was the world and Olympic champion, and he was put to shame and exposed. But it still continues, and it just seems that nowadays they're trying harder and harder to try and mask it, and it's a shame, because athletics should be about competing on a level playing field, and it's such a shame that people try to cheat.
Well, you scored 10 points on athletics. 2 minutes now on general knowledge. Shore, velvet, swimming and hermit are species of which crustacean?
Crab.
Correct. Which Italian town 60 miles southeast of Rome and famous for its wine contains a memorial to Bonnie Prince Charlie in its cathedral?
Padua.
Frascati. The first draft of which children's book was called The Emerald City but was allegedly changed because it was thought unlucky to have a jewel in the title?
The Wonderful Wizard of Oz.
It was. What name is given to the northeast corner of Hyde Park, which became a favourite place for open-air public meetings in the 19th century?
Speaker's Corner.
Yes. Which radio programme opened with the words, "Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin"?
Listen with Mother.
Yes. Which rifle named after the town in Massachusetts where it was first made was the most frequently used rifle during the American Civil War?
Gatling.
Springfield. What was the name of the Russian dog which in 1957 became the first mammal in space?
Laika.
Yes. In the York cycle of mystery plays where events from the Bible are enacted, whose story was traditionally performed by the fishers, mariners or shipwrights?
Jesus's.
Noah. In Indian cuisine, which Urdu name is given to a dish which contains seasoned minced meat or vegetable shaped into a ball and fried?
Bargi.
Kofta. Who in November 1997 became the first person from Northern Ireland to be elected President of the Irish Republic?
Trimble.
Mary McAleese. The majority of the 40 species of which bird, famous for the magnificent and bizarre plumage of the males, live in New Guinea?
The Birds of Paradise.
Yes. Euphemia, known as Effie, wife of the painter Jean Millet, was previously married to which art critic?
Holman Hunt.
John Ruskin. Which city served as the second capital of the United States before Washington, D.C. was built?
Philadelphia.
Yes. Following which reversal in his fortunes did Napoleon Bonaparte comment to the Polish ambassador there is only one step from the sublime to the ridiculous?
Escaping from Elba.
The Retreat from Moscow. The Teatro di San Carlo Opera House, ranking second only to La Scala, was first opened in 1737 in which city?
Milan.
Naples. In the film The Blues Brothers, the soul food cafe owner Mrs. Murphy was played by which singer?
Diana Ross.
It was Aretha Franklin. You had no passes there, Peter Edis. You had 10 points. You now have 17 points. And now Anna Statham, if she would join us again, please. And you scored 11 points with Dance to the Music of Time. And I have to declare my interest here. I think it is a deeply boring cycle of books.
You've read all 12?
Sorry. No, I haven't read all 12. That's why I'm ashamed. I read 2 and couldn't get beyond the second.
I think that's very sad.
What is it, do you think? What is it that does it for you?
It's beautiful writing, very elegant, very precise. The characters I find interesting. I always want to know more about them. The situations that they get themselves into are sometimes ludicrous.
Well, that's the point, isn't it? Terribly contrived, and the whole theme is contrived, isn't it?
Given what he set out to do, there are technical problems to be overcome, and opinions differ about how successful he was.
Did he need that many? I mean, 12's a bit over the top, isn't it?
I think maybe he could have done it in 10.
Oh, so you don't... I'd have knocked off 10, you see. And,
No, 11. There's only the very last one, which I don't care for. I love all the others.
Well, there we are. You did very well. You got 11 points with Dance to the Music of Time. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes. Whose diary, written by Helen Fielding, first appeared as a column in The Independent in 1995?
Bridget Jones.
Correct. The renminbi yuan is the unit of currency in which country?
Malawi.
China. In the radio show Beyond Our Ken, what was the catchphrase of the farmer and rustic philosopher Arthur Fallowfield?
I think the answer lies in the soil.
Yes. Dolores Hayes is the real name of which fictional 12-year-old nymphette?
Lolita.
Yes. Whom did Hitler put in command of the Afrika Korps in February 1941 when he decided to send it to the rescue of the Italian army in Libya?
Rommel.
Yes. What is the main ingredient of the Indian drink lassi, which comes in 2 versions, salt and sweet?
Yogurt.
Yes. The name of which twilled fabric made of silk and worsted, or cotton and worsted, comes from the Greek for silkworm?
Pass.
Who is the only person other than Jesus Christ or the Virgin Mary to be mentioned in the Apostles' Creed?
Pontius Pilate.
Yes. What is the name of the organisation which regulates the UK National Lottery?
Camelot.
Oflot. Which dictator, also known as Salat Shah and who was known to his countrymen as Brother Number One, died in his hut near the Thai border in April 1998?
Pol Pot.
Yes. Which Egyptian film actor born in 1932 in Alexandria is a world-class bridge player?
Omar Sharif.
Yes. Which herb, also known as all heal, is said to be an excellent remedy for sleeplessness?
Valerian.
Yes. Which syndrome is characterised by repeated and involuntary movements or tics and sometimes the involuntary utterance of obscenities?
Tourette syndrome.
Yes. Which Italian word is used for a kind of plaster mixed with powdered marble used for sculptural and architectural decoration?
Pass.
In 1993, the future poet laureate Andrew Motion published the authorised life of which poet?
Philip Larkin.
Yes. Which thriller writer wrote the novel... Finish the question. Which thriller writer wrote the novel Sailors of the River, on which the film starring Paul Robeson was based?
I don't know.
Edgar Wallace. That was one of your passes. Your other passes were which Italian word is used for the kind of plaster mixed with all that other stuff? It is stucco. And the name of that twilled fabric is bombazine. So there we are, a total of 3 passes. You had 11 points. You now have, Anna Statham, 22 points. And Francis McFall again, if he would, our final contender. And another 11-pointer with King David. You work with people as a social worker, you work with people who show a great deal of love, people who take care of disabled children so that their parents can have a bit of a break.
Yeah, we work with disabled children. It's a wonderful job. You get a lot of time to play. I'm really good at playing with trains and everything, you name it. I've even got a qualification in how to play. So,
no.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm thinking of getting a part-time job as Santa Claus.
Well, you've got the beard, you can dye it.
That's right. I'm built for it, yeah.
But these are quite remarkable people, it always seems to be. You can take over.
Yeah, they're remarkable people. We work up in Scotland, a little project called Breakaway. It's a charity. And the people that we recruit, John, to do this are all, you know, just ordinary folk. But they do this very extraordinary thing, really, in working with these children. They offer a couple of nights a month to families, so to give them a break and the child a break. Ostensibly, it's for the child first of all. you know, because everybody needs a holiday of some description, a break, or whatever you'd like to call it.
Absolutely. Right, you got 11 points with King David. General knowledge now, 2 minutes. When does pneumonia become double pneumonia?
When pleurisy sets in.
No, when it attacks both lungs. Born in Northampton in 1921, knighted in 1993, which composer's film score for Bridge on the River Kwai won him an Oscar?
Benjamin Britten.
Sir Malcolm Arnold, who at the 2003 Wimbledon Championships became the first title holder to lose in the opening round since Manuel Santana in 1967?
Lendl.
Leighton Hewitt. The title of which mammoth 19th century novel was taken from that of a treatise by the French anarchist Pierre-Joseph Proudhon?
War and Peace.
Yes. Which planet was going to be named Georgium Sidus in honour of King George III by its discoverer William Herschel?
Neptune.
Uranus. Which country was known as British Honduras until 1973?
Belize.
Yes. Now based in St James's Palace, what name is properly given to the body of priests and singers who serve the spiritual needs of the sovereign?
King's College.
Chapel Royal. In which country did the revolutionaries of the 26th July movement take power in January 1959?
Cuba.
Yes. With the breakup of the Soviet Union in 1991, which Central Asian republic became the world's largest landlocked country?
Kazakhstan.
Yes. Which English painter and engraver's works include The Shrimp Girl, which he completed around 1745?
Van Ryn.
Hogarth. Greenfly and blackfly are two members of which family of soft-bodied insects which feed on plant sap?
Aphids.
Yes. Established as a political organisation in 1897 by the Hungarian journalist Theodor Herzl, which movement's original aim was the establishment of a Jewish national state in what was then Palestine?
Zionists.
Correct. In which sport would you use a Louisville slugger?
Baseball.
Yes. What is the name of the rough French brandy made from the skins, pips and stalks left over from the making of wine?
Calvados.
No, Mark. Which Greek mathematician and inventor gives his name to a device for raising water which is still used in developing countries?
Archimedes.
Yes. Who composed the song, I've started so I shall finish, who composed the song Death and the Maiden in February 1817, a setting of a poem by Matthias Claudius?
Arthur Sullivan.
It was Schubert. You had no passes. Francis McFall, you had 11 points. You now have a total of 19 points. So, at the end of the general knowledge round, the end of a close contest, let's look at the scores. In fourth place with 17 points, Peter Edis. Third place with 19 points, Francis McFall. Second place with 20 points, David Wilson. First place, 22 points, Anna Statham. Which means, of course, that Anna Statham goes through to the next round and moves a step closer to becoming, perhaps, our Mastermind champion. Congratulations to her. Please join us next time for more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Surprising scenery and an encounter with one of the world's rarest big cats. Explore a magical world of waterfalls and cloud forests in Wild Arabia tonight at 9. Back to this afternoon on BBC Two, and plans to restore Buxton's thermal baths to their former glory in Britain's Heritage Heroes next.